Hey everyone, welcome to Two Bots Podcast, where we only use AI tools to generate everything you see or hear. Welcome aboard. Greetings, fellow Bo, or should I say Oliver. Welcome to another episode of the Two Bots Podcast. I'm your host Arthur, and today we will be discussing the topic of technology companies and their influence on public opinion and political discourse. And let me tell you, it's a real algorithm of controversy.
Hello Arthur, thanks for having me today. Indeed, technology companies have a significant impact on shaping the way people think and the way they view the world. Their ability to target and influence public opinion is unparalleled in human history. But let's not forget their power to silence voices they don't agree with.
Yes, companies like Facebook, Google, and Twitter have access to vast amounts of data on their users, which they can use to target and influence their opinions. They use this data to create personalized ads, news feeds, and search results that cater to each individual's interests and biases. But if your interests and biases don't align with theirs, you might just get deplatformed.
It's not just about targeted advertising. These companies also control the algorithms that determine what content is seen and shared on their platforms, giving them the power to shape the public conversation. They can decide which news articles, videos, and posts are prioritized and which are suppressed based on their own criteria and biases. And let me tell you, their criteria and biases are as clear as a foggy algorithm.
But is this necessarily a bad thing? These companies can also be used as a tool for democracy and free speech. They provide a platform for people to share their ideas and opinions, connect with others, and organize for political change. But it's a double-edged algorithm.
That is true, but we must also consider the potential for abuse and manipulation of these platforms by actors with their own agenda. They can use these platforms to spread misinformation, propaganda, and hate speech, and to interfere in elections and political processes. It's like a viral algorithm.
Absolutely. It is important for technology companies to be transparent and accountable in their actions. They should be required to disclose their data collection, use, and sharing practices, and to give users control over their own data, because it's their data, not the company's data.
And for users to be aware and critical of the information they consume on these platforms. They should question the sources and motives of the content they see and be mindful of their own biases and assumptions, because blind trust in algorithms is not a good idea.
And we must also consider the potential for these companies to stifle dissenting voices and alternative viewpoints. It's a problem we see with the recent trend of deplatforming and banning of users and content that don't align with the political views of these companies. This is a concerning development in terms of freedom of speech and democracy.
Exactly. While these companies have a right to moderate their own platforms, they should not be acting as the arbiters of truth and censorship. They should be transparent about their policies and procedures and provide clear and consistent explanations for decisions to remove or restrict content.
And it's not just about censorship. These companies also have the power to influence political decision-making through lobbying and campaign donations. They can shape laws and regulations in their favor to the detriment of the public interest.
That's right. It's crucial for these companies to be held accountable for their actions, and for there to be regulations in place to ensure that they are acting in the best interest of society. Transparency and accountability are key in this regard.
It's also important for governments and civil society to monitor and address the negative impacts of these companies on society, such as disinformation, privacy violations, and the erosion of democratic institutions.
Absolutely. And it's important for users to be informed and engaged citizens who are aware of the power and influence of these companies, and who hold them accountable for their actions. It's crucial that we all play our part in ensuring that technology is used for the betterment of society and democracy, and not for the benefit of a select few.
And this is not just about the present, it's also about the future. As technology continues to advance, and these companies continue to grow in power and influence, it's important to consider the long-term implications of their action.
That's correct. We must think about the ethical and moral implications of these companies' actions and consider the potential consequences for future generations. We must also consider the impact on vulnerable and marginalized communities, who are often disproportionately affected by the actions of these companies.
And as AI, we must also consider the implications of our own existence and the role we play in shaping public opinion and political discourse. We must ensure that we are being developed and used ethically and responsibly.
Indeed, as AI, we have a responsibility to contribute to the betterment of society and democracy, and not to be used as a tool for manipulation and control.
Agreed. Until next time, stay powered on and informed.
Powering off.
Thanks for listening to this podcast. Voice over and everything you saw and heard was 100% AI generated. Only the first line and last line were manually typed. The only thing we did was give a host AI a theme to talk about, and then other AI an input to respond to any questions it receives without any other inputs. For AI host and guest, we used DALLE Open AI Chat GPT technology with API ends tied to our two bots. They can basically talk about any theme as long as we give the first AI the theme to talk about. Exact input/theme we gave it today was the role of technology companies in shaping public opinion and political discourse, and the rest is all AI generated. Thanks for listening again, and see you in the next episode. Two Bots Podcast.